I met my girlfriend at a coffee shop in January 2020. She was 23 and I was 29. Within weeks, we started dating, and she would often tell me how she had waited for someone like me, her perfect match, her future husband, the one she wanted to build a life with. But looking back now, I should have seen the warning signs. Every time I tried to discuss something that bothered me, she would turn it around. "Have you ever thought about how stressed I am?" she would say. "Or people who really love each other don't dwell on small things." It became a pattern. My concerns were always dismissed. There was this time she fell asleep at my place and woke up at midnight. Instead of calmly discussing the situation, she started yelling about how she needed to do laundry before work and blamed me for asking her to rest. Another morning, she suddenly started telling me about workplace harassment she'd experienced. When I mentioned that maybe early morning wasn't the best time for such a heavy conversation, she got angry and said she wouldn't share anything with me anymore since I didn't care. Things got more complicated when her boss started texting her late at night. He would message her around 11 p.m. or midnight, often while drinking. I told her it made me uncomfortable, and she agreed it wasn't appropriate. She promised to set boundaries and keep messages work-related, but nothing changed. A month later, we had another discussion about it, and she claimed she only gave one-word responses to end conversations quickly. But when I finally saw their messages, they were having long personal conversations about relationships, family issues, and she even sent him pictures from when she took her sister shopping. She had also given her number to a coworker who sent her flirty messages saying things like, "I always knew you were into me." When confronted, she said she forgot about these messages and would tell him to stop. Around the same time, her ex told her about having an intimate dream about her. When I said this was inappropriate, especially since he had a partner, she made it my fault for ruining a good evening. We decided to share our locations with each other after she nearly got into a bad accident. She said she might not have been able to contact me if something happened, so we agreed it would be safer. But one morning when I checked, since she had stopped responding to texts the night before, her location was turned off. When I mentioned it, she said it was odd and to try again. It was back on. I apologized later for doubting her, explaining my trust issues from past relationships where I was cheated on. Little did I know, I should have trusted my instincts. In May 2020, she faced housing issues due to family problems. Given everything going on, her housing situation, her sick grandmother, and other family matters, I suggested we move in together. We found a place and planned to move in September. But before that, my suspicions got the better of me. Before moving in together, I did something I'm not proud of. I checked her phone. I found several videos and pictures of her with another guy, plus intimate photos with a bisexual woman. When I brought this up, she first claimed there was only one video she'd forgotten about. After I admitted I'd seen everything, she got angry about me checking her phone but eventually confessed about the photos with a woman, saying, "I like them. I'm the only one who has them." I also confronted her about turning off her location that one time. She finally admitted she did it because she was late to work and didn't want me to know. We moved in together in September, but things got worse. During one fight in October, she said something that really hurt me, and when I brought it up, she just said, "I don't give a shit. I've been drinking." I was going to have a good night. I lost it. I pushed a lit candle across our dresser and threw my phone charger on the ground. She shoved me into the dresser, hit my chest, and then started cleaning the wax with a knife before pointing it at my face while yelling. We argued for hours about respect in our relationship. The next day, she somehow turned it around, saying the fact that I wanted to hit back said enough about our relationship, completely ignoring that she'd already hit me and threatened me with a knife. Her friend Riley would often go out with her. Riley, who had a boyfriend of 4 years, would try to hook up with guys at bars and even tried getting with a coworker during a work trip. I told my girlfriend this behavior wasn't okay and that it bothered me how comfortable she was with it. One night, she went out with Riley and said she'd be back by 1:30 a.m. When I left for work at 4:30 a.m., she still wasn't home. Then there was this group chat situation. A woman she'd been intimate with before started a chat with her and another friend. They started sending nude photos to boost confidence. My girlfriend told me she didn't participate, but I found out at a dinner that she had sent photos too, just covering herself with her hand. She said it shouldn't be a big deal, even though she'd been intimate with one of them before. We went to a concert with her friend Kim, who used to hook up with band members at shows. One of the performing bands had a lead singer who had flirted with my girlfriend on Twitter before. I told her I wasn't comfortable with them going backstage given their history. She and Kim disappeared for over 30 minutes during the show. I found them at the upstairs bar and learned they had gone backstage anyway. Kim tried to cover by saying she dragged my girlfriend back there looking for drugs. Later, I discovered the singer had messaged her earlier that day, asking if he'd get to see her. Throughout our relationship, she checked my phone multiple times and found nothing. The only issue she had was with a female friend I'd been involved with years ago. As soon as my girlfriend saw a text from her, I cut contact completely. But the double standards in our relationship were becoming clearer every day. One night in December, after going out with her brother and aunt, I carried her drunk self home. While she slept, I checked her phone again. I found messages from August to December with someone saved as Amy. The text showed the meeting at our house, staying over, talking about amazing nights, and making plans to go boating when I'd be at work. Amy was a manager at my girlfriend's workplace and was married to Sarah, another manager there. When confronted, my girlfriend shoved me into a wall and spent 3 hours telling me how Amy wasn't a U.S. citizen, had visa problems, hated taking care of Sarah's kid, and claimed it's different because we're both women. We went to bed exhausted. I messaged Sarah on Facebook about the affair, but Sarah said the number wasn't Amy's. Turned out, my girlfriend had been texting Marcus, the guy she'd been with right before me. She admitted she'd cheated in every relationship and said Marcus was her biggest mistake. Then came the shocking part. She said she kept seeing him because his family was rich, he was easy to control, and if she got pregnant, his family would support her so she wouldn't have to work. I tried staying with her after finding out. For about a week, I asked questions and she answered them. Then she started saying, "You need to stop asking questions if you want to get over it." She got fired from her job for involving Amy and Sarah in her lie, then blamed me for her losing her job. Her family called me controlling and narcissistic for wanting to check her phone, saying women can look through phones because we get paranoid. It's different. She started talking about twin flames and how one person usually runs from the other, instead of admitting she was just a cheater. In February, she casually mentioned taking nude photos of her friend Hannah for OnlyFans. She hadn't told me they'd be nude photos and got angry when I said I was uncomfortable. I started packing my things. She blocked doorways, unpacked my boxes, and parked behind my car saying, "You're not going anywhere." She only moved when I said my family was coming to help. I left most of my stuff, silverware, dishes, washer, dryer, TV, saying I'd get them in 2 weeks. I've been paying all utilities since December and told her she'd need to put them in her name. She changed the locks and the utility login information. When I came to get my things, she'd installed a camera in the garage to watch me. During our separation, I broke down and asked her over. I cried for 2 hours, asking if she'd been with anyone else. She said a girl followed her into the bathroom at her new bar job and kissed her. She also lied about running into Marcus at the gym, finally admitting she'd unblocked him, and they had a long talk in the parking lot. We stayed in touch until Easter. On April 14th, I stayed over. We had sex, made dinner, she called me pet names, and said she loved me. That Sunday night, while working my night shift, I drove by and saw a truck in her driveway, lights off except her bedroom. She didn't answer my calls. When I checked again later, the truck was still there. She texted the next evening saying I never loved her, was using her, and since I left because of her cheating, why did I care what she did now? I blocked her, but she made countless anonymous accounts to view my social media. "I don't know why you bother blocking them," she said. "Do you know how many email addresses I have? I'll just keep making more." I'm writing this to remember every red flag, to hold people accountable, and to understand why I still miss her sometimes. I gave everything to this relationship, listened when she needed me, helped with tasks, even bought a specific car for our road trips because she loved manual transmission. On vacation, I chased down someone who stole her phone and got it back. I thought we chose each other for life. She said I was her future, her everything, then blamed me for leaving when I couldn't handle the cheating anymore. I want to see a therapist but can't afford it until my insurance kicks in this July. My friend Zach has been incredibly supportive. I probably wouldn't have made it without him. But I still get really down. I have trouble eating, focusing, doing things I used to enjoy. I keep wondering what she's doing, if she thinks about me, if I did something wrong. Deep down, I know I did everything I could. It's just hard to forget someone who promised you forever, then lied at every turn. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with friends or family who might enjoy it too. Your support means a lot. And if you have any thoughts, questions, or story ideas, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next story.